Hey YouTube, your girl is back with another video, and today we are making savory cupcakes. Y'all, get into it. It is a hot honey fried chicken soul cake buttermilk muffin topped with garlic mashed potatoes, topped with hot honey chicken. Listen, appetizers on another level. This was highly requested, so guess what we doing? We're making it. So simple. Let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to start off doing is peeling our potatoes. Now, I'm old school, but then I'm not. I use a vegetable peeler because it's easier for me, and it's way more convenient to just, go ahead and use this little kitchen tool. So I take a plastic bag and just go ahead and peel all of the skin off of my potatoes. So I am a little, little particular, making sure that I don't have any brown spots or any skin left over on a potato. So you want to make sure your finish for the cupcakes are nice and white, and the least amount of spots the better. So I go ahead and peel all of the skin off the potato. If you don't have a vegetable peeler, feel free to use a knife or whatever you have, but this is so simple, really quick, and look, just that fast. It works for me. So once you are done peeling your potatoes, you still have to clean because it does leave a lot of dirt behind. So with cold water, you want to go ahead and rinse off your potatoes thoroughly. Please do not skip this step because we do not eat dirty potatoes. And you see the little spot I missed? I'm gonna get them. So you're gonna go ahead and make sure that all your potatoes are clean, and then you are going to put it in boiling salt water. Make sure that your water is salted, and that way while your potato is cooking, it absorbs some type of flavor, and it'll make it easier for you at the end when we go to mash the potatoes. So while our potatoes are boiling, we are going to get started with our corn muffins. So here I have some all-purpose flour, and I'm going to go ahead and add some yellow cornmeal, and we're just going to give that just a quick whisk. Next, we have a pinch of salt, baking powder, and baking soda. So once you have all of your dry ingredients incorporated, you're going to whisk them, and you want to make sure everything is well incorporated, because if something fly out the bowl, you don't want to, have to wonder, hey, is that all my baking powder? Is that all my baking soda? So make sure you mix this together thoroughly. So here I have regular granulated sugar, and then we're going to add all of our eggs, our buttermilk, our honey, and all the measurements will be in the description box below. And then you have melted but cooled unsalted butter. So once you have all your wet ingredients in the bowl, you're going to go ahead and incorporate that, and use a bigger bowl because this bowl was not big enough. So you're going to make like a little ditch in your dry ingredients, and then you're going to pour that wet mixture right in the center of it. And you want to mix this and kind of fold this in. Now the key to like soft, fluffy, good cornbread is not over mixing. So I know it's sped up and it looks like I'm really like mixing the heck out of it, but I'm not. You're only gonna mix this until just incorporated. Remember to scrape down the edges of your bowls while you do so, but boom, that's all. So I have my trusty cupcake pan. If you have a smaller muffin pan, that's fine. This is literally the smallest muffin pan that I own, so this is what I use. So I went ahead and lined them all with cupcake liners, and I'm going to use a ice cream scooper to make scooping out my batter so much easier. If you only have a spoon, the batter is not runny at all, so it shouldn't create a mess, but I do find that the ice cream scooper works best for me. I'm able to move just a little bit faster, and then you're also able to make sure that you're putting like the same amount of batter into each cupcake hole. So I'm gonna put these bad boys in the oven on 400 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes. Make sure, you know, everybody's oven a little bit different. So make sure you keep an eye on them, and you wanna cook until they are golden brown. And we're gonna move on to our next step, which is our chicken. So you're gonna take skinless, boneless chicken breast. I cut mine in half because leaving it whole is it's way too thick. You cannot leave the chicken breast that whole, and you're gonna cut decent sized pieces. You're not making chicken nuggets, so it's a little bit bigger than a chicken nugget, but not as big as a chicken strip, if that makes if that makes sense. So you're gonna go ahead and make sure that all of your pieces, now this was way more than enough chicken than I needed, but of course I used the remainder of the chicken, you know, for other purposes. But go ahead and cut your chicken breast into nice size pieces, and there's no wrong or right way to cut. It doesn't have to be a square, it doesn't have to be a triangle, but you don't want it too thick. That's the only rule in cutting the chicken, that you don't want super thick piece of chicken, because what's gonna happen is that you fry it, and then it's not gonna be done in the middle, and the outside is gonna cook way faster than we want well done chicken. So our cornbread muffins are done. They just came out of the oven. So what I am going to do is I'm gonna take a little bit of butter, and I probably should have just left this whole, but all I had was butter pieces off to the side. So you wanna brush some butter on top, and you wanna do it while it's hot, so it melts and kind of seeps down into it, and it just gives our little cornbread muffin some extra moisture. So I literally did this for every muffin. I rubbed unsalted butter across the top of it, and it really added some nice flavor also, not just moisture. So our potatoes are done, and as you can see, they're super easy to just break apart with a fork. I jumpstart the process by doing this because when it's time to whisk it, it makes it easier. So I have half a stick of unsalted butter that I'm going to use, and I'm also going to go in with heavy whipping cream. So you want to keep this on the side of you because you will add more gradually. This is garlic paste. If you want to use garlic powder, if garlic powder is all you have, then that's fine. So I said to keep the heavy whipping cream next to you just in case you need it, because as you can see, these potatoes was giving me a hard time. So you don't want to add too much liquid into your potatoes, because when you go to frost it, it needs to be the perfect consistency. It needs to be smooth, but it still needs to be, you know, firm enough to sit up on a cupcake. So it took me a little bit, and as you can see, I'm just literally adding in a couple teaspoons at a time, and then you keep stirring until you get the consistency that you're looking for. And it did take some time because I wanted to get it right the first time, because you can always add more, but taking it out is a destroy, you know, and I don't really want to add some mashed potatoes to pick them up. It ain't great. So here I got it right, and I'm gonna add just a sprinkle of cheese to kind of elevate my flavor profile on this savory cupcake. So literally not even a fourth a cup of cheese that I just sprinkled in there, and we're gonna go ahead and get that incorporated, and then we're also gonna add in some parsley, because parsley is tasty, why not? So go ahead and stir that in, and look how smooth our potatoes are coming together. So this is the end result, and then you want to taste it at this step. Like I said, I boiled my potatoes in salt water, so it was perfect, no seasoning, other seasoning. So here we're gonna go ahead and fry our chicken. So I started off with some garlic powder, onion powder. I added some chili powder, smoked paprika, salt, and then we're gonna go ahead and massage all of that into our chicken. As you notice, there's not a lot of water on my chicken either, and I literally scraped the bowl because we will leave no seasonings behind whatsoever. So we're also going to go back in with a little bit of oregano, dried oregano, and then a little bit of dried thyme, and the flavors in the chicken alone was perfect. So I set that to the side, and now I have buttermilk, and I'm gonna add some hot sauce in my buttermilk, and then we're just gonna mix that until that's incorporated. And now it's time to season our flour. So again, I have all-purpose flour that I'm gonna season with garlic powder, smoked paprika, salt, fresh cracked pepper, and we're gonna go ahead and give that a whisk. And the key to seasoning is if you cannot see the seasoning in your flour, 9 times out of 10 you probably need more. And then I'm also gonna add a little dried parsley and some dried thyme. The flavor profile in both the chicken and the breading, amazing. So somehow I skipped over me dipping the chicken into the buttermilk, and then into the flour, and then back into the buttermilk, and then back into the flour. But this is the end result of that, so just follow that step exactly. Here I have some vegetable oil that is nice and hot and ready to go. And you're gonna drop the chicken straight into the oil, and this is what it should look like. You should always test your oil first, just by kind of shaking the chicken over the oil. And then if the little pieces of flour, when it fall in, if it doesn't sizzle, then it's not hot enough. And you don't want to drop your chicken to cold grease, because that's just not, nope, that ain't it. So you want to flip the chicken occasionally. Look at all the seasoning and the flour. Yes, seasoning. And then once your chicken starts to float and it's nice and golden brown, it is time to remove from your pan. And then alongside the pan of grease, I have a pan with some paper towels, so all of the excess grease can kind of drain off, and you won't have greasy cupcakes, and your chicken will be nice and crunchy. So you're gonna repeat this process until all of your chicken is fried. Now this recipe does make 24 corn muffins or soul cupcakes, whichever you want to call it. So you need at least 24 pieces of chicken, and if you have the recipe, then you know, do your math. So now it's time for our hot honey sauce. And what is hot honey sauce without honey? So I started off with some honey, added some sweet chili sauce into that mixture, added some garlic paste, and then some sriracha, because you know we have to spice on this channel, okay? A little more. And then I also added a little bit more honey in, because we want this mixture to be thick. So what I did learn, I went ahead and cooked it on high salt, maybe like 2 to 3 minutes until it came to a simmer. Once this mixture cools down, it does thicken up. So here I have my sauce brush, and then I went ahead and brushed on the sauce to every piece of chicken. And we're gonna coat this actually twice. So this is just the first coating of sauce. I have it on my cookie rack. I have some parchment paper underneath, and then you want to go ahead and get the sauce nice and drippy on the chicken. So now it's time to do what we've been waiting for. It's time to build a cupcake. Y'all, I'm so excited. So I added my mashed potatoes to a piping bag, went ahead and laid the cupcakes out. And at first I did start off with like a piping tip that I would normally use for cupcakes, but that wasn't working out with potatoes, so I just went ahead and cut that off, and you know, just greased out these things. And it really didn't matter, because once you sit the chicken on top, it really does come together. So it's no wrong or right way to pipe your mashed potatoes. So once all of your mashed potatoes is on your corn muffin, you're gonna go ahead and add the chicken, and look how glazy and succulent the chicken looking. Yes. So we're gonna add the chicken to everyone, and now we're gonna go back in with that second round of your hot honey sauce, and look how it's dripping down on the side of the cupcake. Like, yeah. So we're here for the extra drippage. And you're gonna make sure that you go over it each and every chicken twice, so that it really has a nice coating of the hot honey sauce. And then some extra, you know, drip is not bad. So once somebody bites into the cupcake, no matter where they bite into, with or without the chicken, you get that hot honey taste. So this is what we looking like afterwards. We have our hot honey, hot cornbread with our garlic mashed potatoes. So I'm gonna call them soul cupcakes, but y'all can use this for brunch, appetizers. This recipe is bomb just for any occasion. If you do make this, please leave down in the comment section below how you liked it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure to also like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you always, for the support. I really appreciate my old supporters, my day ones, all my new subscribers. Welcome, gang. It won't stop here. I have so much in store for you guys. Again, I really appreciate everything, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.